It's the Road to World Cup 26 podcast, your deep dive into everything FIFA World Cup every single week. Part of the Global Sports Podcast Network.
A very warm welcome wherever you are listening in the world. This is Road to World Cup 26 podcast with me, Nick Britten, and Mr. Ken Davies, who's wearing a black t-shirt with the word Reds all over it. For today's episode, he can explain, I am sure. How are you, Ken?
I'm very well, thank you. Glad it's the end of the week. We're recording this on a Friday evening. It feels like a Friday evening. It's been a week. It's been a long week, hasn't it?
It has been a long week, yeah. It's always,
You've done plenty of travelling. I've been all over the place. It just feels like we need a rest, need a couple of days off.
Yeah, never mind, mate. You've got a game of football to look forward to tonight, haven't you? Your team are in action.
Yeah. Wrexham, that is, playing at home against Swansea, Welsh derby. But this T-shirt is not a Reds as in Wrexham. It's Cincinnati Reds because the baseball season is about to start.
And Cincinnati are your team, aren't they?
They're my city.
Your city. You support the baseball team. You support the NFL team. You support the soccer team. You support the ice hockey team. You support the whatever else they do there. You are Mr. Cincinnati.
Well, it's only because I spent a couple of weeks there, or 1 week there, and I loved it. And so I've become a big Bengals fan, a big Reds fan. I actually listened. This is how sad I am. And you know how sad I am, but this is even going to surprise you. Sometimes I listen to the Cincinnati Reds game on the radio, the baseball game on the radio. If I've got nothing else to do, I'll have the baseball game on the radio from some far-flung radio station in Midtown, Ohio.
You really need to have nothing else to do to sit and listen to that.
No, it's actually, I find it quite interesting.
To be fair, I like baseball. I think baseball on the radio, a bit like sort of football, soccer on the radio, is actually sometimes a lot better than it is if you're watching it.
I agree.
I'm a big fan.
Do you prefer a radio commentary than a actual watching? So, for example, because sometimes you can stream the radio commentary and watch it live.
No, there's nothing worse. There's nothing worse than actually watching.
There's got to be something worse.
Well, your beard is not great, but actually, to be fair, it's looking very trim. You've attacked it, haven't you, with some hedge trimmers? I don't like that because obviously radio commentary on any sport, you have to describe everything. You have to paint pictures. You have to literally describe everything that's going on. Well, you don't need to do that when you're watching it. So actually, it becomes really irritating because you just end up saying, "Well, I can see that. I can see that. I can see that." So actually, some of the best soccer commentary is when they're not talking.
I think that's very true, actually. And in a way, I think that's a bit of a lost art. Sorry, you've got me on a bit of a thing. It's a bit of a lost art. When you look back at football commentators of the past, I think they were rather better than they are now, who tend to gabble and over-talk a little bit.
100%. It was a skill. And we in the UK had a
Who's
golden
your favourite?
generation. I always like
And
Barry
who was
Davis.
the one that you think was overrated?
Well, I like Barry Davis. I like John Motson. I like all of those kind of things.
Yeah.
I don't think there were too many back in the day because I just thought they were all very, very good. And there are some very good radio commentators still now. John Murray on Radio 5
Brilliant.
particularly.
Great.
But I don't like Sam Matterface, who does the England games.
No, I'm not a massive fan of Matterface.
He just talks too much.
Yeah.
He just talk. And it is that. It's just like, guys, understand the art of television commentary. Is sometimes it's better to say nothing at all.
Yeah, Matterface came from a radio background, really, didn't he? I think so. Yeah, the daddy of them all. And sorry for all these listeners around the world who won't know who we're talking about, but the daddy of them all for me was David Coleman.
Yeah, fair enough.
1-0.
Athletics, or
just a great football commentator. Yeah. And the one I think is overrated, and this is a little bit controversial, is John Motson.
Really,
John Motson, I always felt was like my uncle Henry doing it. Like he just sounded like he didn't know anything about football to me, and just trying to covered it by loads of pointless stats. So I much prefer of the three big ones back in my day: David Coleman, Barry Davis, John Motson. Very much a third for me.
Yeah, fair enough. Right, we are going to go over your latest World Cup news. There's lots going on, as you would expect, not only as we get a little bit nearer to the tournament, but of course the news this week, as it was last week, dominated by events in the Middle East. And we talked a lot about our Iran in or out of the World Cup last week. The story has moved on quite a lot this week, so we're going to be having a look at that and updating you on everything you need to know about that. Other bits and bobs of news to bring you bang up to date with everything you need to know. 2 weeks ago, we looked at Group A. Last week, we looked at Group B. So this week, we're looking at Group C.
Group F.
Brazil, Morocco, Scotland, and Haiti. And just bringing you all the up-to-date news from those camps and what's going on. And then, of course, we'll finish the podcast with everybody's favourite time of the week. It's Kenny's quiz. So
did
lots
quite well last week.
Yeah, you did well last week. Yeah, you did very well. You won, I think. You got 2 right out of 3. So well done. You've got four questions today.
I've just been living on that all week.
So I'm not surprised.
I've just been high-fiving strangers.
Yeah.
In the post office.
Yeah. Is that why I saw you down at a police station the other day?
Yeah, I was asked to leave eventually.
Yeah, you got to stop doing that. Okay, so Iran. Now, the chances of Iran playing at the World Cup are receding fast. Last week, we sort of looked at would they, won't they? We weren't quite sure. This week, it's moved on quite a lot. Now, the week started heading in the other direction, actually, because Gianni Infantino, the FIFA president, had come out and said, well, I've spoken to Donald Trump and Iran are welcome. So there was a bit of an olive branch, it felt like a little bit. Then the response from Iran, from their sports minister, Ahmad Donyamali, this week was pretty much robust, saying, no, we're not going to do it. He said, and I quote him, our boys are not safe. Conditions for participation do not exist. And Donald Trump since then has doubled down on it, posting on Truth Social in a bit of a slightly passive aggressive way, I think. The Iran national soccer team is welcome to the World Cup, but I really don't believe that it is appropriate, and this is the key phrase here, appropriate that they be here for their own life and safety.
Yeah.
So, Ken, it doesn't look like that. And then, I mean, Iran, the national team, since Donald Trump, has a bit of a tit for tat going on here. They then posted on their Instagram saying, well, it wasn't up to any one country to decide who competes and who doesn't compete. And this is a decision that Iran will make. And they said no one can remove the Iranian national team from the World Cup. Rather, the country that should be removed is the one that merely carries the title of host, but does not have the ability to ensure security for the teams participating. So they've come back and said, well, actually, if America can't guarantee our safety, then they shouldn't compete either. So it's a real mess, isn't it?
Yeah, and you know what? Purely as a neutral, Iran have got a point. It isn't America's World Cup. In fact, Canada and Mexico have got 2/3 of it. But nobody owns the World Cup in that sense. It's owned by the world. But no, the chances of Iran being there are, if they were, when we met last week, if they were remote last week, they are remoter still now. In fact, there is more chance of me and you playing in the World Cup final as captains on both sides than there is of Iran playing the World Cup. So I think we have to, it's very unfortunate. There hasn't really been a precedent for this. I suppose the closest precedent, by the way, to something like this, though the circumstances were considerably different, was in the 1992 European Championship when Yugoslavia, because of what was going on in the Balkans, they were replaced with only 10 days to go before the 1992 European Championships, and replaced by who, by the way?
Who went on to win it?
Denmark, who went on to win it, which bodes well for whoever takes the place of Iraq. So Iran, giving the game away there. But so Iran, I think that it just wouldn't be right. It just wouldn't be right anyway, because this won't be over. Actually, the fact that this won't be over soon, I think affects other teams as well. And, we've got the whole thing with the Iraq. They're obviously involved in the playoff. They can't get out of Baghdad because Iraqi airspace is closed until the end of the war. So the whole thing's in a mess.
Yeah, so Iraq have got to go and play a playoff game against either Suriname or Bolivia. The winners of that semi-final will play Iraq for a place in the World Cup. But because they can't fly out, and because actually their coach isn't even in Iraq, he's stuck in Dubai at the moment, they can't fly out of there either. What FIFA have suggested to Iraq is that they drive 30 hours to Turkey and fly out of Turkey. Now, Iraq have come back and said, no, we're not going to do that. They've asked for that playoff to be postponed until they can get out of the country. I wrote a big piece about this, by the way. I delved down into this during the week and wrote a piece for the Hooligan Soccer blog site. You can find that on Hooligan Soccer. They're based in Texas, in the USA. And I looked into kind of what might happen next. The likelihood is that the playoff will be played as normal. If Iran beat the winners of the semi-final, so either Bolivia or Suriname, then they will take their natural place in that pathway. So I think, I haven't got it in front of me. I do know this because I looked into it, but there's a pathway where they would normally go into. If they lose, they will replace Iran in Group G.
Who's this, Iraq?
Yeah, this is Iraq. And the spare place for that pathway will actually then go to the best place team in the Asian qualifying competition, which is the UAE. And they will replace Iran in Iran's group.
Yeah, and there's another slight complication to that, which has got Trumpian overtones, which is Iraq isn't exactly the best mates with the US. The UAE is best mates with the US. So I think if Trump had a choice, it would be UAE, but it sounds like it's probably likely it should be both.
Well, yes, and there's a reason for this. And obviously, prior to the competition, it was decided either by FIFA, unilaterally, whatever, with the confederation's input, that certain amount of teams from each confederation get to play. Yeah. So that the UAE, have that, they'll so. Yeah, so if the winner of that playoff between Iraq and whoever they play, so Suriname or Bolivia, will go into Group B alongside Netherlands, Japan,
that's
and
how
Tunisia.
It should. That's how it should happen.
But obviously, there's still a place. If that happens, there's still Iran's Group G place available, and the UAE will slide into that
because they are from that Asian group.
Yeah.
Now, if you're Iraq, who have got further than UAE in the qualification competition, might feel that you're entitled to that because you've got further. Now, that's not the case because it's based on FIFA rankings. But
Iraq are going anyway. Iraq are going to go because if Iraq lose that playoff, then the winner of that playoff, so Bolivia or Suriname, will take their place in Group B, as that's the pathway, and Iraq will just simply replace Iran in Group G, and UAE won't.
Is that guaranteed, or is that speculation?
That's the most likely option because
I think there's a twist in that tale, and there can't be a twist. No, so what you're suggesting is if Iraq lose the playoff, then UAE will take their place. I think there's a debate about that.
No, I don't know. It won't. No, that won't be the case because Iraq have got further in the qualifying competition than UAE.
But I think the rules are, and this is where I think it gets interesting. Actually, if a team drops out, it's the highest FIFA ranking team that takes their place, not the one that qualified furthest in the competition. So I think there is a little bit of to and fro-in to be had on that. And particularly, watch the space, because I bet this comes up. And because the US have a preference, I think, for the UAE rather than Iraq, I don't think that's a given.
Okay, well, we'll see. We shall keep
our eyes. It's a very interesting debate.
Yeah, FIFA are, by the way, it's worth saying this, they're sitting and waiting to see what's going to happen here. They have their FIFA Congress meeting on April the 30th.
That's right.
And that's kind of when they need to come up with a plan of some sort.
6 weeks away from the start of the competition.
Yeah, so if you're going to suddenly start putting in teams like UAE, for example, you need to give them adequate time. So we'll know. I would think if we don't know by then, we'll know then.
My personal choice would be if Iran is taken out. Obviously, the automatic place should go to Wales. I think everybody sees that as the common sense solution.
Yeah, strangely, nobody sees that.
Nobody's mentioned that.
No, and funny enough, I think that if Wales win their playoff, then they still shouldn't go to the World Cup. Right, let's move on. We've been talking on and off over the last few weeks about this row which threatened games at the Gillette Stadium in Foxborough, Massachusetts, because there were essentially the town leaders, the people who run the city, were refusing to stump up the £5.8 million in British pounds. Please convert that to whichever currency you are living in. They're not stumping that up for security costs on the basis that they didn't bid for the World Cup. It had the foisted upon them, and why should they pay for it? Which is a fair enough point of view. You might want to argue. Well, you might want to argue that. And there was this standoff between FIFA, between the Americans, between Foxborough, people who run Foxborough, and all this kind of stuff. And within, 2 or 3 days of the security plans having to be lodged, yesterday it was, 24 hours ago, Robert Kraft, who is the billionaire owner of the NFL team, the New England Patriots, who play at the Gillette Stadium and indeed own the Gillette Stadium, he's agreed
What company does he own, Robert Kraft?
Kraft Sports and Entertainment. They're the ones who will be funding this 5.8 million.
No, but he's made his money from a big FMCG company.
Is it Kraft Cheese?
Huh?
Kraft Cheese? I don't know.
No.
What? I don't know.
Clues in the name.
Arts and Crafts.
Gillette.
Oh, see, right. Sorry, I wasn't thinking of that. Yeah.
That's a good question, isn't
it? Yes. Very good question.
The Gillette Stadium.
Okay, yeah, fair dues. So they're putting up the money, and essentially now all of those concerns about security have fallen away.
Yeah, and well done, Robert Kraft. He didn't have to do anything about this. He's got nothing to do with soccer. He's a great guy. NFL, the New Patriots. They just lost in the Super Bowl, didn't they? He's done a great job there because essentially he's underwritten it and said, "I'll give you the money and you can claim it back afterwards." So hats off to Robert Kraft. Everybody go out there and buy a razor blade. Obviously not me, but everybody.
Well, I was going to say I might get him to send one to you, mate. You can put it to good use on that beard. I can tell you that. Get rid of it.
The best a man can get.
You or your beard?
Both.
Speaking of funding, then, another story which has happened in the last couple of days. Good news, finally, for all the towns and cities who are hosts for the World Cup, who've been very worried, and indeed increasingly worried about the money coming from central reserves from the federal government. They were meant to provide $625 million to the various hosts to support them with their security. That money had been stuck in the chain somewhere because of administration delays. And it's fair to say over the last 3 or 4 weeks that some of those host towns and cities were getting increasingly worried about whether or not they could actually put the World Cup on in their local area because they didn't have the money for security. And obviously security is a massive part of this. But the Department of Homeland Security in the last 24 hours or so has signed off on those security grants tied to the tournament. So those cities now will get their share of $625 million. So that's good news. And then finally, we touched upon this last week, and I want to bring you an update on Cristiano Ronaldo, who flew back from Saudi to Spain after he suffered a hamstring injury. And it was a hamstring injury which at the time when playing for Al Nassr was quoted as being worse than originally thought. And you always worry when the World Cup is only a couple of months away and you suffer a hamstring injury. However, good old Cristiano, he's been posting photographs of himself on Instagram this week. His leg was wrapped up in some kind of sleeve. According to reports, it's something called pressotherapy. Have you had any pressotherapy?
I wouldn't own up to it if I had any pressotherapy. You have to pay extra for that, don't you? Bubbles, the massage parlour in Derby. I like some pressotherapy, please.
Well, pressotherapy, if you don't know what it is, it involves using an air pressure machine that inflates a suit around your body, essentially, and squeezes your arms or your legs or wherever you've got it in. It's a bit like a massage, and it's very good for lymphatic drainage, easing swelling, all that kind of stuff, detoxifying the body, blah, blah, blah,
I
blah,
think
blah.
I'm going to try that over the weekend.
It's
I
just
obviously haven't got one of those things, but I'll just put a hose, attach it to some air thing, and
yeah, or
put it up my in an orifice.
put
See what
your
happens.
hand in a balloon,
Yeah.
blow up the balloon, and then massage the balloon very gently.
Oh, okay, then we'll try that. Okay. It's a low tech version, I accept, but we'll try that.
And then if that works, you can use other parts of your body to
Makes note. Okay.
pop into a balloon then and blow it up. Right, so that's all your World Cup news, mate. Lots going on.
Yeah, there is lots going on. It's going to get increasingly frenetic as well as we get closer, because we are getting close. We're only 3 months away now, and all these things are going to happen. The big news is, the big thing to watch really is what's going on with Iran's replacement. I think it's going to be it's going to be a twist and a two in the tail on that one.
We shall see. We shall see. Right, we're going to have a look at Group C. Before that, do you want to have a word from our sponsor?
I think we should, because the Road to World Cup 26 podcast has partnered with Bionique, the world's most personalised supplements, because your body's unique. And without knowing exactly what your body needs, if you just take off-the-shelf supplements, you might not be getting enough of the nutrients you do need. You may be getting too many of the ones you don't need. So Bionique provide 100% tailor-made supplements specifically designed for your body, not just any body. So click on the show notes for more details. Click the link. You'll get 50% off your first order, and your body will be very pleased you did. You know what I'll do at that point, just to break it up? I'll press that.
So slow on this every time.
It's the Road to World Cup 26 podcast, your deep dive into everything FIFA World Cup every single week. Part of the Global Sports Podcast Network.
Honestly, mate. Honestly, you turn up this podcast. I do 99% of it. All you've got to do is turn up, read the ad.
Is this you had one job rant?
Yeah, this is the one you only have one job.
Right,
and every week.
Yeah. No, but I have to bring the common sense and just general decency and insight to this.
Yeah. Okay, when are you going to start doing that? we're only a year in. In fact, we're over a year since we started doing this. This is episode 49, by the way.
Is it?
49, yeah. Because we missed a couple for Christmas, and then we were away the other week, both of us.
Episode 49.
Yeah.
Well, what we're going to do, celebrate the half century next time? We'll do it naked.
Yeah, like you say, you bring the common sense. Right, Group C consists of Brazil, Morocco, Scotland, Haiti. I did that in my Scottish accent. I didn't start in a Scottish accent, but I ended in a Scottish accent. The first games are on June the 13th, when Brazil play Morocco and Haiti play Scotland, which I think we've decided previously that is the most important game for both of those teams. Let's see what's been happening in the camps of late. So let's start with Brazil then. Thiago Silva, the very famous Brazilian centre-half, has been talking about Neymar this week, calling his inclusion in the World Cup squad indisputable. He says if Neymar is fit, he has to play, and I'm going to get your opinion on this, essentially saying that his technical and psychological contribution remains unrivaled to the world on the world stage, essentially alluding to the fact that when Neymar's on the pitch, the opponents start shaking with fear. I'm not sure. I'm not so sure about that.
No, I'm not sure. And I just don't think anybody's got an automatic right, have they? Anyone? Well, with
no, of course they've
one
got
exception.
Messi has, Ronaldo has. Messi
Ronaldo. I mean, Ronaldo has to play for Portugal, doesn't he? Because no one else can take a free kick. No one else can take a penalty. No one else can take a throw-in. No one else can take a goal kick. I mean, he just does everything. He insists on doing everything, which is why it's such a annoying. But
Harry Kane has, definitely.
Yeah. So
I was hoping, by the way, well, Neymar's there's getting a big up from Thiago Silva. I was hoping that the squads for the upcoming friendlies against France and Croatia would give us some indication of who's going to be in Carlo Ancelotti's sort of final pick on this. But although he hasn't announced the squad, reports are starting to leak out that he's taking more than 50 players to those games. So I'm not sure.
I'm surprised
I'm not sure we're going to be.
Invite.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I don't think we're going to be left much better off in terms of clues. What we do know is, of course, the Real Madrid striker Rodrigo. He won't be going to the World Cup. He suffered a very serious ACL injury very recently, so he's out. One of the key strikers. Vanderson, the right back, he's out also. Interestingly, word that Juventus defender Bremer, who hasn't actually played since 2024 Copa America, he's back in the fold. He's back into the squad.
Good.
And then, add that to pretty much any other Brazilian who qualifies to make up the numbers in a 50-strong squad for the friendlies against France and Croatia. So, look, Ancelotti will know. He'll have a spine of a squad here, but I guess he's just trying to look he's just trying to look at as many players as he possibly can at this moment in time.
Yeah, Thiago in the squads.
He's 41. So
is Thiago in the squad?
Thiago Silva.
Yeah.
Oh, or Igor Thiago.
Igor Thiago.
We don't know yet. The squad's not been officially announced, so it's just reports that are leaking out here and there. So we don't know. He must be. There's no possible way that Igor Thiago will not be in this squad. There's just no way that he won't.
He's never played before.
It doesn't matter. He's hit seven. He's the highest scoring, I should say, Brazilian in the Premier League. He's in this squad. I'm not saying he's going to go to the World Cup, but he'll definitely.
Well, he should go. We're banging a drum for him because he should go to the World Cup.
Ancelotti will want to have a look at him. I can guarantee that.
He has to. He absolutely has to. If he doesn't play in any of these friendlies, I think he's in trouble. Yeah. But how would you take Richarlison and not take Thiago? It just makes no sense.
Well, just because the same way as Gareth Southgate would take Jordan Henderson and not, I don't know, somebody else. They trust them. They know them. They're good around the camp. They're good for morale. They're experienced. They're important.
Yeah, there's no prizes for that, though, is there?
Well, there is actually. That's where you're wrong, Kenneth. Because when you're cooped up together for 5 weeks or so, morale around the camp, as we've seen with France in a very negative way down here, morale around the camp is massively important.
I do agree with that, but I think ultimately you've got to pick your best players, and there's no reason to think that Igor Thiago is any less than Richarlison around the camp. So.
I think they'll both go.
I hope they do. I'm really banging the drum for him. I hope he definitely does play. By the way, when was the last time Brazil won the World Cup, Nick?
Oh no, I have no idea. Not for a long time. 2014.
2002.
Oh really? Was it Japan and Korea? 2002. Why have you still got a Christmas mug, by the way? Why are you drinking out of a Christmas mug?
It's the first one I just picked up. I just thought I need a coffee when we just keep myself awake. I've got to talk to you, and I've got to get some coffee down me. So I thought I'd just grab the first mug I got to.
Great.
Who's your favourite Brazil player? There's an obvious one, isn't there? But
I don't know. To be honest with you.
You don't know who your favourite Brazil player is?
Don't know.
Someone put a gun to the back of your head, so unless you tell us your favourite Brazil player, we're going to blow your brains out. You're not going to say, I don't know.
Well, yeah, but you didn't do that, did you? You just said
no, I didn't. You haven't seen behind you. There's a bloke with a sawn-off shotgun behind you.
Vinicius Junior.
No chance. Now, I'm not talking about now. I'm talking of all time.
Oh, I see. We didn't say that, did you?
No, of all time. Of every single Brazilian player that's ever played the game since 1896.
Well, do you remember Rivellino?
I do. 1974.
I always had a bit of a soft spot when I was running around the playground, being Brazil and being, that team of that Rivellino always stuck in my mind. Obviously, you've had the two Ronaldos. You've obviously had, who's the other guy with the teeth? Rivaldo.
Ronaldinho,
Rivaldo, Ronaldo, Pele, obviously. I'm not going to say Pele, it's too obvious. And I never saw him play. But anybody from that Brazilian team of the kind of mid to late 70s, any of them.
What about Zico and
Zico? Yeah,
Socrates,
of course,
and
Socrates,
those fellas.
Yes, I forgot all about him. Yes, of course.
I mean,
Socrates,
Zico I thought was a great player. Yeah. But I remember the 90s. I did actually watch the 1970 World Cup final.
I'm not surprised. You just retired. You had loads of time.
It was great. I had time on my hands, and it was. That was a team. Obviously, Jorginho and Pele and Gerson and people like this, Carlos Alberto, great players. But I think the greatest Pele, the greatest Brazilian team is like the '82 team, isn't it?
Yeah.
Kind of Socrates and
and Brazil,
Zico.
and I don't look. Brazil have never been like that since. They've never played football like that since.
No one has.
Yeah, it's
No.
sensational.
Yeah. So Brazil. Yeah. By the way, just the four teams. Brazil ranked 5th. Morocco ranked 8th. But we talked about Morocco last week. Things have gone a bit odd, haven't they, with Morocco and the manager? Haiti 83rd, and Scotland ranked 38th. How many times, Nick? I know this isn't Nick's quiz, but I thought I'd ask you. How many times have Scotland got to the World Cup?
I'm just trying to think. Well, obviously the most famous time, which was in 1978, which is the one we all remember, and then they did it again in history. 4,
8,
8.
8.
Yeah, I reckon 8. Yeah.
8.
How many?
Yeah. Wow. You very good, Nick. It was 8. And what was the last one?
I can't. I was just trying to think that actually, whilst I was answering my own question. I don't. Well, it wasn't. I should know that. Do you know what? Why don't I know this? This is so bad. I should know.
I know. See, it's hard when you put on the spot with a question, isn't it?
Yeah.
Suddenly, the brain seizes up.
I don't know. I don't know. To be honest, I don't know.
1998.
Right. Okay.
Was the last time they went to the World Cup.
That was in France, wasn't it? Was that France?
Yeah. Now I've got a bit of a feeling about this, and I've changed.
Oh yeah, no, I watched that game, by the way. I watched the opening game of the competition, which was Brazil versus Scotland.
Yeah.
In a hotel in the Isle of Skye. I was in Scotland watching that game.
Wow. There you go.
Yeah.
So I've been having a think about this because I was looking at the fixtures of this group. Starts off with Brazil against Morocco, Haiti against Scotland. I always thought Haiti-Scotland is the big game here. Actually, I've changed my mind. The big game comes next on the 19th of June. Scotland v Morocco is the big game. Because I actually think Morocco are not going to be as good now as I originally thought they want to be. Even though they're ranked 8th in the world, I don't think that's actually a good reflection of where they are. I think Scotland against Morocco could be an extremely competitive game. And I wouldn't be at all surprised if Scott McTominay scores a couple and Scotland manage to squeak that. And if they do, obviously they're going to finish second in the group.
Yeah, they will. They will. We're still trying to. We just simply don't know. We don't know the effect of all of the fallout of the AFCON final. Plus, last week, of course, Waleed Red.
Who?
I always get this wrong. Reguaji. That's how you actually pronounce it. Reguaji. I practiced it.
But it isn't.
It is. Yeah. It is.
I bet if you went to Rabat and said that, like
no,
that,
Reguaji.
They'd say, "What are you talking about?"
They just bring over 2 pints of lager.
Yeah.
We don't know the effects of him leaving and walking out on the Morocco camp is going to be. We don't know how unsettling it's been for the players. They've got some great players in there. And we just don't know. Yeah, we don't know what's going to happen. So, yeah, Morocco obviously struggling at the moment with that. And they're having a reset with the new coach. It'll be interesting to see how they get on. And indeed, what the new coach does, whether he just keeps on playing pretty much the same team. I mean, they've got some very good players. Obviously, the best known, which really is the goalie, Bono. Who's their kind of captain and stalwart, but yeah, don't do the old U2 gags. We've had them all in before.
Well, I'm surprised. I'm surprised he selected Bono. I mean, I thought he still hadn't found what he's looking for.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Afram Hakimi is obviously a star defender. Plays for PSG. IF Agard from West Ham now, Marseille. Brahim Diaz, the Real Madrid striker, who of course was very much the focus of the AFCON final when he took that Panenka ridiculously. Yeah, and missed it. To be fair, he has been playing for Real. I wondered whether that was it. He was just never going to play again. So, but he's got back on a horse pretty quickly, and he's got back to Real and has been playing. So good luck for him.
Well, I think to be honest, all that Bono playing in goal should give him the edge.
So to be fair, That's good.
Thank you.
That's good, Ken. Yeah, I
There you
like
go.
that one. I like that.
Anyway, excellent. There you go.
Scotland now.
Haiti, by the way.
Yeah.
Do you
I'm going
remember?
to come on to Haiti in a minute. Can we talk about this in a
Oh
minute?
yeah, go on. Then. So I got
Let me just touch on Scotland. And words that I never thought I would ever say are all hail Angus Council. And there's a reason why I am saying all hail to Angus Council, and indeed Perth and Kinross Council, and indeed one or two other councils around Scotland. Because for now, and we don't know whether he will be in a few weeks' time, by the time the world kicks off, but for now, First Minister of Scotland, a guy called John Swinney, who incidentally I used to play football with back in the day.
Did you?
Yeah. Declared that 2 days after Scotland play Haiti in their opening game, their opening game's on a Saturday, on the Monday, to celebrate Scotland going to the World Cup, it's going to be a national holiday. It's going to be a bank holiday. And everybody went, hooray! Except the councils, who, much like councils everywhere else in the UK, are absolutely skint. They've worked.
You can't just be letting people work for nothing.
Yeah, and
get
these
paid
councils
for doing nothing.
The smaller councils, particularly, worked out it will cost them, somewhere between 150
5 million,
200,000 pounds. I mean, the Glasgow and Edinburgh, the two big councils, will cost them 20 times that. But Angus Council voted this week against this, and they said they will not be allowing any of their staff a holiday. And I think Perth and Kinross have followed suit. I think the Highlands are going to follow suit as well. So councils are railing against John Swinney's ridiculous, and it is a ridiculous. And what I can, if I say to you, he announced this, and just by chance, Ken, the Scottish Parliament elections coming up in a few weeks' time. Are we going to put the two together, I wonder?
Isn't there a word for that? Of actually essentially bribing the electorate.
Yeah, it's called bribing the electorate.
Oh yeah, it's called bribing the electorate. Yeah. And we don't for a second think that he's doing that.
No, certainly not. No, he's a man of his outstanding.
Hell of a coincidence, though, isn't it?
Yeah. It's a vote winner. If you want to vote for him.
Gerrymandering, isn't that the word? Gerrymandering.
No, I don't think it's that bad. He's just said he'll make it holiday.
No, but I think that's the word for that kind of stuff, isn't it?
Don't overplay it.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyway, Scotland might be given a boost, it turned out this week, because a midfielder called Jordan Holsgrove, who is the son of, who is his dad? His dad was Paul Holsgrove, who played for Hibs in 1999 when Jordan was born. He's doing very well in the Portuguese Premier League. He's playing, where is he playing? Estoril. His passing stats are high. And he's made himself available to play for Scotland in the World Cup.
Estoril, though. I mean, Estoril aren't exactly Benfica, are they?
No, but Scotland aren't exactly Brazil.
This is true. This is true. But good. So yeah, I mean, Scotland need all the help they can get. But to be honest, I think Scotland's chances took a big rise when Morocco's manager decided that he wanted to go and do something else in June.
Yep. No, I think so. Yeah, maybe so. I mean, they've got a reasonable squad. They've got some good players. I mean, Scott McTominay is the star player of the Scottish team, just simply because of how well he's done at Napoli since he's gone there. He's been phenomenal, phenomenal. And the player that was at Manchester United, it always looked like he could do this, but never did at Manchester United, is certainly ripping it up at Napoli. And what a superstar!
He's a really good player. Yeah.
Next to him in the midfield, John McGinn, I think is, and I love John McGinn. I think he's been a phenomenal player for both Scotland and Aston Villa, but you sort of sense he's slightly moving away from his peak.
But it's a great player. It's great for him that he can actually go and show his skills on the world stage.
And I hope he does. I hope he does really well. Andy Robertson is the captain. Obviously, plays for Liverpool. Kieran Tierney plays for Celtic. Lawrence Shankland, who's been scoring goals for Hearts, who are top of the Scottish Premier League and look like they're going to win the Scottish Premier League.
Yeah,
he's one to look out for. They haven't got a lot of strength in depth because as soon as you move away from, say, Shankland, you're into Lyndon Dykes at Birmingham, George Hurst at Ipswich territory, Che Adams perhaps at Torino. But
yeah, they're not the level, are they?
No.
Isn't it funny how Scotland used to have far better players? Why?
They did, yeah.
What's happened?
Don't know.
It's strange, isn't it? How Scotland's players they were, have great teams.
Never had a Kenny Dalglish since.
Who's your favourite Scottish player?
Oh, without a doubt, the goalkeeper, Alan Ruff. because he was just famous for letting the ball through his legs and
Dreadful.
stuff like that. He kind of spawned the whole joke.
Scotland have terrible
Scotland goalkeeper
keepers.
jokes, yeah.
And it was a proper phenomenon, wasn't it?
Yeah. But one of my other favourites is also a goalie, Andy Gorham, who I thought was great.
Yeah.
And subject to the great chant, there's only 2 Andy Gorhams, and for various reasons that I don't want to go into on this podcast. They've had some great players down the years. They've had some great players.
If you had to pick a number one, someone's got a son-off shotgun to your head.
Again, I thought I'd seen him off after the last one. Well, it'd have to be Kenny Dalglish. It has to be. Scotland's greatest ever player, Kenny Dalglish.
Yeah. Soonest?
Has to be. Yeah, great player, but not in the same league.
Alan Hansen?
Great player, not in the same league.
No, Dalglish is probably right up there, isn't he? Joe Jordan?
Oh, great player, no teeth, but not in the same league as Kenny Dalglish.
Yeah. No, you're right. Dalglish is head and shoulders, I think.
Yeah, and look, let's face it, Joe Jordan and Graham Souness couldn't play in the modern game, could they? They would get sent off every 10 minutes. But they were great players of their time. Yeah. So we move on to Haiti finally, and obviously they are. Here's an interesting stat that I came across this week, by the way. Their manager is Sébastien Mignet. He's a 52-year-old French coach who has been manager of Haiti, despite never, ever having gone to Haiti.
Wow.
He's never been there. And there's a reason for that. And do you know what the reason is?
No.
Because rule of law pretty much disappeared in 2021 when the president was assassinated, Haiti have to play their home matches 500 miles away in Curacao.
Well,
he just flies into Curacao. Never been to
nice part of the world.
Never been to Haiti. Yeah,
well,
interesting.
Interesting. Well, very few people have. Haiti is a very, very strange country, you know. It's on the. It shares. What is the name of the island? There's a name for the big island that is made up of Hispaniola. I think it's called Hispaniola, which is made up of the Dominican Republic and Haiti. And Dominican Republic is quite a beautiful place. Haiti is a beautiful place, but it's always been insanely run. A little bit of boring historical facts about Haiti. Papa Doc Duvalier, Baby Doc Duvalier, ran it as dictators, and the kind of secret police in Haiti was called the Tonton Macoute in 1970. They just killed whoever they want. You can kill who you want. It was run as an absolute rogue state for decades. If you're the unluckiest baby in the world, you got born in Haiti in about 1970. I mean, just what a place! What a crazy, crazy place. There you go.
Was that it?
Haiti's an interesting place, isn't it?
Yeah. Can you bring me around one of your cups of coffee, please? I think I need it.
By the way,
I mean, it's had economic sort of meltdowns. There hasn't really been. It's got that kind of political instability. There hasn't really been anybody to take over, and gang warfare has essentially filled both of those gaps, and that's been
correct. It's a tragic place, and great through the World Cup. Now they played the World Cup in 1974.
Yes, they did. Correct.
They played Italy, Poland, and Argentina. They scored twice. How many goals did they concede?
42.
No, that's mean. 14. They lost 3-1 to Italy. They scored against Italy, 7-0 against Poland, and 4-1 against Argentina. So they scored against Argentina. So it's not terrible.
Yeah, it's not terrible. We talked a few minutes ago, didn't we, Ken, about Morocco perhaps opening the door to Scotland. Yeah. Well, very similar things happening in Haiti potentially here, because Haiti is on America's banned list, as you know, for immigrations and visas and all of that. And the government, Donald Trump, said, "Well, don't worry. You know, if you're a footballer and you're coming for footballing reasons, blah blah blah, you won't be affected by the ban." Well, this week, 7 Haitian players were banned from entering the country for a game against LA Galaxy.
Wow.
Now,
on what
this
basis?
opens on the basis that if you're from Haiti, you're not allowed in America.
Even though they're footballers.
Well, even though they're footballers. So the question there to be asked is, is the government going back on its word? Or when it comes to the World Cup, are they going to allow them in?
Interesting.
7 players, 7 players who are due
Well,
to
they
fly
must
in
allow them in for
from
the
Italy
World Cup. I can only
for a
imagine
Champions
they didn't
League
let.
clash with LA Galaxy weren't
Well,
allowed in.
it is slightly different if you're playing a club competition, I suppose, than you're playing the World Cup, but it is it's concerning. It's concerning.
Well, I
Haiti
thought
on
the
the
rule.
on
I
the
thought
only
the
one
rule.
team on the
I
banned
thought. I
list.
thought. I thought the rule was football competitions.
Oh, right.
They'll be allowed in football competition. This is a football competition.
Well, if in the worst case scenario Haiti can't make it, Wales are available.
No, they're not.
But
They are
so
not.
that's Haiti.
So are all these
don't you
things that are sort of
fancy
creating?
Haiti to do to Scotland what Peru did to Scotland? I've always had that feeling about this World Cup. Haiti are going to turn up and beat them 3-1 or something.
If they do, they're going to need Duckens Nazon. Duckens Nazon is Haiti's all-time record goal scorer with 44 goals and an absolute legend. Now, I didn't know until I started researching this week that he played in England. He played for 3 teams in England.
Right. Who?
He played for Wolves, Coventry, and Oldham Athletic.
Wow. Never heard of him.
Yeah.
When, though? Recently?
No, not recently.
1896?
No, in the 90s.
Right.
Yeah, so there we are.
But, so he's not playing anymore?
Yeah, he's still playing. Yeah, he's still playing.
And he plays for him in the 90s and he's still playing?
Yeah. He's 90, right?
That can't be right. He can't be playing 25 years later.
Why not?
Well, when did he start? When he was 9?
Yeah. Look, Haiti don't have.
I think he probably played for him last season.
Let me have a look. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. I couldn't remember. I just made that up because I couldn't remember. He played for Wolves between 2017-18 and made.
That's more like it, Nick. In the 90s.
I just made
the
it
quote
up.
of the week is, I just made it up because I couldn't remember. That's
No,
why people tune into this.
No, but I'm looking at my notes and I suddenly realised that I didn't write down in my notes when he played, and I knew you were going to ask me.
Excuse my language. So he just make it up. You got me going now. Okay.
No, to be fair, I was trying to just wing it whilst I was looking it up. I was tapping away furiously on the keyboard.
So everybody out there in Switzerland, or particularly if you're in Haiti, and you're thinking, "What? He never played in the 1990s?" No, he didn't. He never did.
He was at Coventry. No, he was
at
Wolves.
Born in 1990.
He was at Wolves between 2017-18. He made no appearances for Wolves. He went out on loan in 2017 to Coventry, played 21 times and scored 6 goals. He then went out on loan the next year to Oldham, played 16 times and 6 goals. So not a bad return at either of those.
That's pretty good. 12 goals in about 39 games.
That's all right, isn't it? And then he went off to Belgium.
Is that a euphemism or something?
No. He went off to play in.
Well, very good. Well, so we're pinning Haiti are pinning their hopes on him then.
Yes. Yeah.
Blimey.
Yeah, pretty much so. Right. Okay. So that is group. Well, I've just totally lost my thread now.
Group C.
It's Group C. I'm so sorry.
Brazil, Morocco, Haiti,
Brazil, Morocco, Scotland, Haiti. Ken, we think Brazil are going to win the group. I think everybody will be expecting that. But you're now reckoning that Scotland can sneak Morocco into jump above them into second place. Morocco third, Haiti fourth. Is that what you're saying?
I am, as long as Haiti don't go and beat Scotland 3-1 in the first game. I think Scotland, yes, will beat Haiti. I think they'll beat Morocco, and I think they'll lose to Brazil. So I think it's going to be Brazil, Scotland, Morocco, Haiti, all 3 qualifying.
Excellent, good, exciting times. Right, we're going to finish the podcast as we always do. It's time for Kenny's quiz. Good pipe. The pipe is out.
Pipe is out.
The pipe is out.
Brain is engaged.
That's very good. Right, I've got 4 questions for you. One from each country in Group C. I'm going to ask you to pick a number between 1 and 10 for your Brazil question, please. Some of these are really easy. Some of these are really difficult.
Right,
so
2.
It's potluck.
2.
Number 2. He's off to a flyer here. Which language is spoken in Brazil?
Portuguese.
Portuguese is the right answer.
Yes.
It's the right answer. Say some of them is potluck this because some of them are really, really hard. Morocco, I've got a question for you on Morocco, which is which body of water acts as the natural border between Morocco and Spain? Which body of water acts as the natural border between Morocco and Spain?
The Straits of Gibraltar.
Is the correct answer. Mate, you pulled that out. Well done.
You thought that you were going to say the Mediterranean, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Come
2
on.
out of 2.
Come on. I can feel a 4 out of 4 coming.
2 to go. This could be a Wrexham pulling a defeat out of jaws of victory. You're guaranteed a point, mate. It can only be 2-2. You're guaranteed a point here.
Yeah, it's good.
Right. Scotland quiz. Give me. Some of these are very difficult. Some of them are very easy. Number 1 between 1 and 20, please. 1 and 20.
2.
Oh, he's gone for 2 again. Okay.
Oh, yeah, that means it's hard. Oh, God.
Where did President... I'm going to give you multiple choice, all right?
Okay.
Where did President Eisenhower of the United States, obviously, have a residence in Scotland? Was it A, Edinburgh Castle? Was it B, Holyrood Palace in Edinburgh, obviously? Was it C, Glamis Castle in Angus? Or was it D, Culzean Castle in Ayrshire? Culzean Castle, Ayrshire, Glamis Castle in Angus, Holyrood Palace in Edinburgh, or Edinburgh Castle. Where did he have a residence?
I think D.
Which is Culzean Castle in Ayrshire?
Yes.
Is the correct answer.
Only because I've heard all the others. I thought they won't be giving him somewhere to live in then.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, okay. And then the 3 out of 3. This history is being made here.
Yeah, absolutely. They're going to be talking about this for years to come.
Right, Haiti. Pick a number between 1 and 10 for your Haiti question.
2. Oh, no. Oh, no.
Mate, you should know. You should know. You should know that if you went 2 once and you got it right, great. 2 twice and you got it right, great. Don't push your luck.
Yeah, I suppose.
Number 2, who was the primary leader of the Haitian Revolution?
Well, I've got a feeling it was the guy we mentioned earlier, which was, I think his name was Jean-Claude Duvalier. But he was Papa Doc Duvalier. I think it's Duvalier.
So what's your final answer? Give me a full name.
Duvalier.
Okay. Incorrect, mate. Incorrect. The answer was Toussaint Louverture.
Oh, right. I wouldn't have got that right if I was related to him.
It was later continued by Jean-Jacques Dessalines.
Oh no!
So there you go.
No.
Funnily enough, if you said to me 6,
yeah,
you said Nick, because the question was, which island does Haiti share with Dominican Republic?
It's Hispaniola, isn't it?
Yeah, but you didn't ask me that, did you? You didn't go for question. That would have given me 4 out of 4.
Yeah, 3 out of 4 is pretty tasty though.
3 out of 4 is a great effort. That is a great effort. So well done. Congratulations. I hope you got on well with it at home. I hope you're shouting at your transistor computers or phones or whatever it is you're listening to this on.
Computers.
I know, I was going to say transistor radio, but we're not on radio yet. You were meant to get us on radio, but you haven't yet, but we will be there one day. And that brings us to the end of a packed podcast, Ken.
Yeah, it was good fun, that was.
Very good. Now, this time next week, my friend, I shall be in the United States of America.
And I'll be in Gran Canaria.
And you'll be in Gran Canaria.
So we won't be doing one?
Not at the weekend, but we'll do one some other time. I just don't know when. I'm flying out on to Canada.
When?
And then I'm going to America next week.
Oh.
So, yeah. If we're not here next week, people, don't worry. We'll be back the week after.
Yeah, we're coming, but we're like an old penny. We'll just turn up.
We are a boomerang, Ken.
Yeah, we're a boomerang.
Go,
yeah,
and then we come back.
Yeah, boomerang.
So we'll see you probably in a couple of weeks' time, I think, realistically. And until then, Ken, thank you very much indeed. Thanks for joining us.
Pleasure.
As always, mate. Good luck to the mighty Wrexham tonight.
Oh, yeah.
I don't mean that. No, actually, I don't mean that. I probably don't mean that, because if you lose and we win on Monday away at Portsmouth, that's Derby, by the way.
Well, none of
then
those two things are happening. We are winning tonight, and Derby are dreadful. There's no way Derby are going to get in the playoffs. I've got more chance.
What, you as a team?
Exactly. That's my point. And I have no chance.
Okay, I'd like to see that. Right. Until then, people, thank you very much indeed for listening. Look after yourselves, look after each other. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
It's the Road to World Cup 26 podcast, your deep dive into everything FIFA World Cup every single week. Part of the Global Sports Podcast Network.